Welcome to The Teach, where we are going to go through Hansa Teutonica. In Hansa Teutonica, we are playing as medieval merchants, trying to spread our influence and prestige across northern Germany. You win a game of Hansa Teutonica by gaining the most prestige points, but your path to victory might be very different to your opposing merchants. I love Hansa Teutonica because beneath its complex veneer lays a simple mechanical game that grows more complex with the games and strategies of your opponents. So join me at the table and let's learn Hansa Teutonica. You can see here that we have the game set up for northern Germany. We'll have one black tile, one tile for each player, all of the bonus tiles, and our player board. On the player board, your different tiles will be set up in this configuration with remaining tiles above and based on the number of players and your play order, tiles beneath. This is your supply and this is your general stock. When you play tiles, you'll be playing them from your supply, and when you gain income, you'll be gaining them from your general stock. Hansa Teutonica is broken down into 5 key actions that every player takes on their turn. The number of turns you take is based on the revealed number of actions. In this case, your starting is 2. Each of the options are income, placement, displacement, replacement, or creating a trade route. For income, based on the number of bags you have revealed, you will gain that many from your general stock into your supply. For your placement, you will place one tile anywhere on the board trying to complete a trade route. If at any stage an opponent has a space, you can displace them. This will cost you 1 from your supply and 1 going in. It will give the opponent 2, which they will have to place on a connecting trade routes, either on this side or on this side at their choice. If this was a disc that was displaced, your placement would need to add 2 to your general supply, and they would get 2 to place down as well. Once more, it has to adhere to the connecting routes, either after or before. Another action is replacement. Based on the number of books you have revealed, you can move any, in my instance, 2 tokens from one trade to another. The final action is creating a trade route. Based on either end, you can complete a trade route, putting 1 token into that area and remaining tokens out. Or in the case of yellow sections, as you can see around the board, you could actually forego that placement and do the upgrade. It is worth noting that when you do a trade route completion, everyone at either end of that trade route would score 1 point. In this instance, I would score 1 point for the end and red would score 1 point for that end. This is based on who has the most traders or merchants in that region. If at any stage it is a tie, it goes to the rightmost player. In this instance of me claiming or creating a new trade route, if I was instead to claim the upgrade and take over the city, it would actually still score them 1 point, but every other upgrade from this point would actually score me 1 point instead. One extra scoring point in-game is the west to east connection. If you were the first player to do this connection, you will score 7, the second player 4, and the third player 2. This will only score during game, and make sure to add that to the sideboard. Those are the 5 actions within there. We also will score prestige all the way through the game, and that is the biggest component. At any stage, if a player gets to 20 points, or if all of these bonus tiles are depleted and used, or a city fills up, in this instance, Göttingen is fill, so it's actually 1 full city, and that would be 10 cities triggers endgame. Endgame trigger stops all play and the game is over. The player whose turn it is does not get to complete their turn, nor does any other player. So how do we get bonus actions? As we go through, you'll notice trade routes that start with these golden bonus upgrades. If you completed this route and placed the tile at the end, you actually get to automatically use this token. There are 3 different variations. You've got the moving opponent's things around. You have ability to swap. So for instance, if this city was in this nature, I would actually get to swap this around and I am now in control of that city. Or you've got the placement to the left. So if I was claiming this region here, I would claim the trade city, I would play my token, and I would actually put this on the left-hand side. That means that no matter what they do or whatever order these are in, I'm always going to have control of that city because of that leftmost place. Once you have claimed a token, instantly bring back another token to anywhere on the board. It is important to note that the trade route has to be empty and that there has to be at least 1 square available on either end of that trade route. There will always be 3 trade routes pointing, and make sure that the arrow is pointing to the trade route associated. 3 bonus actions on the board. As you claim them, they will go into your pile as things you could collect. Throughout the game, instead of claiming a city, you could actually claim the upgrade associated in certain cities. Where a banner is yellow, you will be able to upgrade from your board. You've got the actions upgrade, you've got the largest network multiplier, you have the income maximizer, you have the ability to increase cities, you have the ability to create new merchants, or you have end-game bonuses. When you upgrade that section, simply remove the tile associated with that upgrade and it will now relieve a new process. Do this enough times and your endgame score will actually be increased as well. Maximizing this will not only increase the income you get, also for every claim you do, all the way to complete, where all actions would actually come with that one action, but also score you 4 endgame points. Once one of the endgame triggers has been made, either all tokens gone, a player reaches 24, or 10 cities are full, game ends and we are calculating endgame score. Endgame score is calculated based on a handy notepad. It is important to note you can print this out. My recommendation would be have a copy that is laminated that you can then write on to save using too much paper. Following through the process, you will score points based on the prestige points you earned during the game. You will then score prestige points for any completed activity or upgrade. You will then score points for the total number of bonus markers you had. You will then score points for your special prestige based on cities you control. So for instance, Colon in this instance, or in other maps, Königsberg or Plymouth. You will then score points for the number of cities you control. If you do not control that city, you do not score the points for it. So in this instance, I control this city and Red control this city, so we'll both score 2 points. But in this instance, I control this city and I control this city because it's a tie and I control the rightmost. We will then score for the largest network. A network is considered connecting when you have all trade routes connecting them together. So in this instance, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and from here, 8. They don't need to be in a sequel line, but these will actually help us going through. This is multiplied by the number of keys. So if you had 8, I could then potentially score a lot of points. We then add all of our numbers together to get a total prestige points, and the highest player wins. And that is how we play Hansa Teutonica. Thank you for joining us at the table. I will add our social media links and our Twitch link. Watch us play this live on our Twitch stream. We'll also include a video or VOD of that recording, which you'll be able to see over here. YouTube will also add an extra video that it thinks is pertinent and you should watch, and make sure to check out below and comment on what you like or would like to see us play next. Thanks for joining us at the table, and we'll see you in the next video.